My name is Waffles, and I'm a government whistleblower turned political commentator. I am just here to express my opinion on what it is that the tariffs are supposed to achieve. Why is Trump introducing the tariffs? I'm just here to explain to you why the tariffs are being introduced. Tariffs are a tax. MAGA is introducing the tariffs to prevent the American people from engaging in a tax boycott in retaliation to the systematic dismantling of our governmental body. When the United States imposes tariffs, which are essentially taxes on imported goods, the extra money collected from those tariffs goes directly to the U.S. Department of Treasury. More specifically, where the money goes, tariff revenue is collected by U.S. Customs and Border Protection, CBP, at ports of entry. The money is then deposited into the general fund of the U.S. What the general fund is. The general fund is the primary account the federal government uses to pay for all kinds of expenses, from military spending to infrastructure, education, and debt payments. It is not earmarked for a specific purpose unless Congress passes a law that says otherwise. So, essentially, tariff revenue becomes just one of many sources of income the U.S. government uses to fund its operations. Example, if the U.S. places a 25% tariff on steel imports from China and the U.S. businesses still purchase that steel, the importer, being the U.S., whoever is in the United States, pays that 25% at the port. The Treasury collects it, and it goes into the general fund. No different from income taxes or corporate taxes. While tariffs can generate revenue, their primary purpose is often strategic, not financial. They're used to protect domestic industries, penalize unfair trade practices, leverage negotiations with foreign governments. However, they can also raise prices for U.S. consumers and businesses who rely on those imports. So it's a double-edged sword economically. The tariffs are a tax. They are a tax on American citizens that American citizens will pay. You will be paying that tax. It makes it so that you are unable to tax boycott. Considering that the institutions which protect the people are being dismantled, it would be rational and logical to think that tax boycott may possibly be a good response to a situation where the government has gone rogue and seems to be harming the people and taking away all of our essential services and our legal system. Now, I just made a video the other day, and at the very top of it, it says Putin's plan, ? If you watch that video, it may help make things make a little more sense why it is that Donald Trump and the MAGA administration are attempting to prevent us from having any means to escape them looting our pockets. Food is often used as a weapon of war, and it is often one of the first things to go when a war breaks out. I personally feel that the things that we have witnessed taking place recently are attacks upon the American people and acts of war against the American people. That is my opinion. All of this is my opinion, except for the statements about what tariffs are and how they function. I am an independent journalist, a government whistleblower, and I am a political commentator. I reside in the United States of America, and I am utilizing my First Amendment right to freedom of speech, and I am also using freedom of the press in expressing my opinions about what I am witnessing in political affairs. Now, there's been a lot of concern expressed by a lot of people that it certainly appears that the Trump administration almost looks like they're assisting Russia. I'm very confused about why it is that my nation's military is bombing Yemen. However, when I look at a map and I see which territories Russia has interest in and associate it with the things that Donald Trump has been saying, it seems to make a lot more sense what has been going on. So I do suggest, oh my God, I don't know why I say that. I do suggest taking a look at, what is on that last video that I made. And if you don't want to dig through my stuff, you could also check my YouTube. I am on all kinds of platforms. I don't even know why that phone is beeping like crazy, but it is right now. Yeah, check me out on other platforms. TikTok is not my only platform, and personally, with the way that TikTok has been lately, I'm just not very interested in this platform. I do come on here, I do work on here, but I want to remind everybody that I'm pumping out content all over the place. So please take a moment to check out the link tree of my bio. I'm on YouTube, I'm on Blue Sky, I'm on everything. But yeah, if you want to know why it is that the tariffs are being imposed, my opinion is that they're being imposed to force you to pay taxes, extra taxes. And from what I see, it appears that that money is being used to hurt innocent people overseas. And it looks like those actions are in the interest of Russia. It looks to me like these weird things that have been going on with Donald Trump meeting with dictators and the key players involved. Saudi Arabia is one of those that has popped up on my radar in the middle of all this as the people doing weird stuff with Donald Trump. So it looks to me like this whole thing with Yemen is that they're trying to... Our military is being used to invade Yemen, to expand territory for Saudi Arabia. I think that during the pandemic, these guys were all meeting up and talking about what they were going to do. And I think that Putin promised these people land. And so then I personally feel that this whole thing with the tariffs is an act of war against the American people by forcing the people to be deprived of food. And in aiding and abetting a foreign adversary. It's the only way that it makes sense in my mind. But yeah, I think that is why they're doing tariffs, to force you to pay taxes, because you don't have a choice when you go to buy your groceries.
So the Olympics is great. And Johnny, for the others, the World Cup, Johnny is the head of it. We had our top people, Wasserman. They all came in on the Olympics, and then I saw Johnny. And we got the World Cup too. And it's only because they rigged the election that I'll be your president representing you there. I got both of them. I got the Olympics and I got the World Cup. And I said, it's too bad. One was in 2026 and the other was in 2028. And I said, I won't be there. I won't be your president. But then they rigged the election and now we won. So I'm going to be your president for the Olympics and for the World Cup. So, Johnny, thank you for the World Cup. And everybody, thank you for the Olympics. We're going to have a great time.
Hey guys, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and comment on my videos. And also, don't forget to check out my shop where you could get this awesome Real Patriots Punch Nazis t-shirt. America, fuck yeah! And if you go to the link tree in my bio on most platforms, it's got links to everything, all of my stuff. You can find my shop there. I'm on eBay. You can also get this cool Exterminate MAGA sticker, because MAGA's fucking cockroaches. And fuck MAGA, abolish MAGA, fuck you MAGA.